In the top stories, St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots picked up their first win of the 2025-26 Republic Bank season. Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew encouraged young participants in the Your Future Summer Camp to build confidence, make positive choices and develop their talents. Hello and welcome to the ZIZ Midday Major Newscast. I am Jasmine Thomas. First on the local scene, the St. Kitts and Nevis Patriots picked up their first win of the 2026 Republic Bank Caribbean Premier League with a 5-wicket victory over the St. Lucia Kings on Wednesday night. Playing at the Darren Sammy Cricket Ground in St. Lucia, the Kings won the toss and elected to bat first, posting 155 for 8 from their 20 overs. Jewel Andrew led the Kings batting with 58 runs, while Camille Puran added 54. Patriots captain Jason Holder led the bowling attack, taking 3 wickets for 20 runs. Set 156 for victory, the Patriots reached their target for the loss of 5 wickets with 14 balls to spare. Andre Fletcher top scored with a man-of-the-match innings of 48, while Holder followed up his 3 wickets with a valuable 32 runs in the chase. Prime Minister Dr. Terence Drew encouraged the young participants in the Sound Your Future Summer Camp to build confidence, make positive choices and develop their talents. Dr. Drew visited the camp on Tuesday, where he engaged with the children who were engaged in songwriting, spoken word and music production. The Prime Minister said the initiative goes beyond developing creative skills, helping young people build confidence, work as a team, discover their talents, and recognize the importance of their voices and choices. He encouraged the campers to lead by example, think independently, make responsible decisions, and positively influence those around them. Dr. Drew also urged young people to stay away from gangs, crime, and violence, while surrounding themselves with people who support their personal growth and development. He endorsed initiatives like Sound Your Future, which provide safe spaces where young people can learn, express themselves, build lasting friendships, and work towards their future goals. The Department of Agriculture is moving to rebuild the coconut industry in St. Christopher and Nevis, with improved coconut varieties sourced from Brazil now being distributed to farmers. The initiative was highlighted during a coconut seedling handing over ceremony, which also focused on strengthening capacity in coconut propagation, agronomy, and pest and disease management. Director of Agriculture Stuart Versailles said the initiative forms part of efforts to rebuild an industry that was devastated by lethal yellowing disease.
Much of that landscape change followed the devastating impact of the lethal yellowing virus, which destroyed the overwhelming majority of our coconut population. Thousands were lost, population declined dramatically, and a defining feature of our countryside disappeared. The effects of the disease are still visible today and serve as a reminder of how vulnerable our agricultural resources can be when faced with emerging threats.
Versailles said the industry now also faces the impact of climate change, prolonged drought, changing weather patterns, and the continued threat of pests and diseases. He said rebuilding the sector will require improved planting material, modern farming practices, and varieties better suited to future conditions.
Rebuilding an industry cannot simply mean replacing what we lost. It requires selecting superior planting material, strengthening our genetic resources, embracing modern agricultural practices, and investing in various capable of performing under future conditions. It is with that objective in mind that the improved coconut varieties being distributed today were sourced from Brazil as part of the department's and the CADI long-term strategy to restore and strengthen coconut production throughout the Federation. These are carefully selected varieties intended to improve productivity, enhance resilience, and provide farmers with a quality planting material capable of supporting the future of the industry.
The director also described the establishment of a national coconut seed bank as a major part of the initiative. He said the seed bank will preserve quality genetic material, maintain a reliable supply of improved planting stock, and help protect the industry against future disease, outbreaks, and severe weather events.
One of the most significant aspects of today's initiative is the establishment of a national coconut seed bank. A strong agricultural sector must always think beyond the immediate season. It must prepare for the next generation. Through the establishment of this seed bank, the department will preserve quality genetic material, maintain a reliable supply of improved planting stock, and ensure that future generations of farmers continue to harvest and access the superior coconut varieties that are to be presented. It also provides an important safeguard against future disease outbreaks, severe weather events, and other unforeseen threats that may impact our coconut industry.
The initiative has been implemented through a partnership between the Department of Agriculture and the Caribbean Agricultural Research and Development Institute as efforts continue to build a more productive, resilient, and sustainable coconut industry. Stay with us. We'll be back with more after this break.
It's that time again. Kittitian Superstar is back, and we're looking for our 2026 contestants. This year, there are more prizes and more surprises. If you think you've got what it takes to be our next superstar, just upload a video of yourself performing any song to your social media with the hashtag KSS2026. Or you can WhatsApp that video to 668-4647. That's 668-4647. Submissions are open right now.
Welcome back. On the regional scene, the United States is seeking to deepen its relationship with the Caribbean, with Deputy Secretary of State Christopher Landau acknowledging that Washington's ties with the region have not been as close as they should have been. Speaking at the reopening of the Ibis Steel Company in Trinidad and Tobago, Landau said the United States and the Caribbean countries share strong geographic and historical connections with significant opportunities for greater cooperation. His remarks come as the Trump administration seeks to strengthen its engagement with the Caribbean amid U.S. concerns over security, drug trafficking, and China's growing economic presence in the region. Caribbean leaders and former leaders have also been calling for Washington to adopt a more collaborative approach to its relationship with the region. And Jamaica is set to impose water restrictions across 7 parishes as below normal rainfall and above normal temperatures are expected to continue through the end of August. The restrictions will apply to Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Thomas, St. Mary, Portland, St. Anne, and St. Catherine, and will remain in force until further notice. Water, Environment and Climate Change Minister Matthew Samuda said the latest outlook shows a higher likelihood of below normal rainfall across Jamaica and parts of the wider Caribbean through August 29. Below normal rainfall is forecast for each of the 3 remaining weekly periods through August 29th. Under the orders, all non-essential use of water provided by the National Water Corporation will be restricted. Residents and farmers are being encouraged to conserve water and plan ahead as the country prepares for continued dry conditions and elevated temperatures. On the international scene, Colombia has begun receiving international aid and rescuers after initially refusing some offers in the crucial hours following Monday's devastating earthquake. The delay is considered the first controversy of the country's new government, led by conservative President Abelardo de la Espriella, who took office on Friday. News of the holdup comes as the clock nears the end of the critical 72-hour window for rescuing survivors under the rubble of collapsed buildings, after which rescuers warn that the possibility of finding anyone alive drops dramatically. Leaders across the Americas had offered support right after the 7.4 magnitude quake struck this week, but just as they had done with Venezuela when it was hit by two powerful tremors in June. The difference is that Venezuela immediately received dozens of international rescue groups without question, while Colombia either turned some of them down or limited how they would help. And Ukraine has only a tenth of the interceptor missiles it urgently needs from the United States to stop surging Russian ballistic missile attacks, Ukraine President Volodymyr Zelensky told CNN in an interview. Zelensky says his days are spent in millions of phone calls in opaque deal-making with allies for more. Russian ballistic attacks have risen fast in recent weeks, hitting the capital Kiev particularly hard as Moscow exploits Ukraine's near-zero stocks of Patriot interceptor missiles. Zelensky said a tenth of the U.S. current stockpile would be enough to stop all Russian ballistic missile attacks, but 5% would be enough to get Ukraine through the winter. Now for a look at the weather. Dry, stable, and hazy conditions will continue across St. Kitts and Nevis over the next 24 hours, with a high-pressure ridge restricting shower activity. Today's high temperature will reach 34 degrees Celsius with an overnight low of 26 degrees. Partly sunny and hazy conditions are expected today. Tonight will be fair to partly cloudy and hazy with a 10% or slight chance of a light shower. Winds will be easterly at 19 to 33 kilometers per hour or 12 to 21 miles per hour. Seas will range from 1.5 to 2.1 meters or 5 to 7 feet, and small craft operators are advised to continue exercising caution. Sunset today is expected to be at around 6:38, while sunrise tomorrow morning will be at approximately 5:54. That brings us to the end of the Midday Major Newscast. Join us this evening for these stories and more. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jasmine Thomas. God bless you.